This is Movietone. Jeffrey Shirley reporting. For the state banquet in Ottawa, a highlight of the Queen's visit, Her Majesty has chosen to wear a magnificent gown of pale green satin with a motif of maple leaves. The Governor-General, the Prime Minister, and over 100 Canadian guests dined with their Queen and the Prince. Afterwards, some 500 more guests attended a state reception. For every one of them, this was a never-to-be-forgotten occasion. Not for 18 years had a reigning sovereign paid a state visit to Canada. Now, Canada's leading citizens had the honor of presentation. Earlier in the day, the Queen's Day, they called it in Ottawa, Canadians packed the approaches to the Parliament buildings. This was a unique occasion, and they wanted to see all they could of it. Meanwhile, Her Majesty, wearing her coronation gown for this event, was leaving Government House with her husband, who wore the uniform of Colonel-in-Chief of the Royal Canadian Regiment. In fine autumn weather, and escorted by 2 troops of the famous and colourful Mounties, the royal couple received an ovation all through the heart of the capital. Ottawa, it's estimated, had almost doubled its population for the Queen's visit. On arrival at the Peace Tower, the Queen and the Prince, before entering the chamber, paused for a few moments on a special dais to receive a royal salute. Then Her Majesty entered to open Parliament. This was an historic event. Present in the chamber to witness it, members of the Senate were soon to be joined by members of the Commons. Together with the Queen, they constitute the Parliament of Canada.
Pray be seated. Veuillez vous asseoir.
In her speech from the throne, the Queen quoted words used by Queen Elizabeth I to the Speaker and members of her last Parliament over 300 years ago.
Though God hath raised me high, yet this I count the glory of my crown, that I have reigned with your love.
It was the first time in Canadian history that a reigning monarch had read the speech from the throne. As Her Majesty left for the return drive, there was another ovation for her, all the way back to Government House. No doubt at all, the Queen was indeed surrounded by the affection of her Canadian people.
Though God hath raised me high, yet this I count the glory of my crown, that I have reigned with your love.